Hi, my name is Andrea Spiros, and I decided to do the video because I've done PowerPoints, I've done paper, so I wanted to do something different. We'll see me periodically. I have to look down. I do have my notes, and when I have anything that I've gotten from a web source, I will go ahead and quote that with what I'm saying. With that being said, educational movements and reforms are created to impact changes in educational practices, policies, philosophies, to also improve learning outcomes and address society and social needs. These movements or reforms will emerge in response to evolving changes, challenges, and/or advancements in educational research and practice. According to Seattle Pacific University at spu.edu, from an article called A Brief History of Educational Reform, written by Greg Fitzberg. Okay? And this is from this exact article. What I'm saying is exactly from this article. The 1983 Federal Report, A Nation at Risk, is almost 3 decades old. And with its signature strategy of statewide curriculum standards, interstate Common Core standards, and the corresponding testing requirements are all still alive and doing well today. And that is exactly from that article. Educational movements and reforms may be nationwide and or statewide. And according to an article, Florida's new math and English standards aren't ready for prime time. And it was written by Amber Northern and Michael Petrilli, Petrilli, from Thomas Fordham Institute at fordhaminstitute.org. And one of the examples that was in there where I want to use, because I found it very interesting, was the Common Core state standards. The Common Core state standards were a nationwide set of standards. Florida and many other states implemented these new standards. However, when Governor DeSantis took office, he issued an executive order to eliminate the Common Core standards from Florida schools. Later, those Common Core standards were replaced with the Florida's version of the Common Core standards called BEST, or Benchmarks for Excellent Student Thinking. And it was a statewide issue reform. And again, I got that from the fordhaminstitute.org website. The reason why I picked this, I know there's tons and tons of educational movements and reforms out there. The reason why I picked that is because originally the Common Core was a national, a nationwide implemented educational movement / reform. With one executive order, it was taken out of the state of Florida, and Florida then went ahead and established their own state standards called BEST. And again, like I said, I know there's a lot of other ones out there, but this is the one that I really liked. So, with all of that being said, how does nationwide and statewide educational movements and reforms, how do they affect teachers, students, and parents? Well, I work at a school here in Pasco County, and I did talk to a lot of the teachers. I'm in the ESE wing for varying exceptionality students. And one of our teachers, she used to work in Wisconsin. She retired here to Florida, and she started teaching again. She's like 70-something years old. And she told me that when you have, these types of educational movements and reforms, she goes, there will be more accountability measures put in place. And she says, and that is very stressful for teachers because the teachers have to figure out how to measure or demonstrate the progress that students have achieved. She also said, like herself and some of the other teachers in my wing, that they have their own teaching methods. And unfortunately, a lot of their old teaching methods don't work, and they have to adapt to new teaching methods. And with changes also comes professional development. And a lot of these teachers have to now go and take additional professional development classes to implement these changes effectively in their classrooms. For students, okay, you would think that, okay, hey, students, you got this improved curriculum, you got better resources being provided, enhanced teaching benefits. can benefit students' learning outcomes. However, I have a son who's on the spectrum, and honestly, it can also negatively impact the students because the changes can put pressure on a student to perform better. And that's what's happening to my son right now. There's been a lot of changes going on. He's expected to perform better, even though he has learning disabilities. It also caused disruptions in their educational experience that can lead to adverse learning outcomes. And I will be honest with you, I see that with my son right now because he's failing all his classes. For parents, first of all, I'm going to say this. I am a parent. I have a child with special needs. I always tell parents that you need to be an advocate for your child. It's your job. Okay? When new educational movements or reforms or policies come out, you need to be the advocate for your child. You also need to constantly stay in touch with the schools and teachers. That means communicating effectively. Okay, and by doing this, you are ensuring a positive and supportive educational experience for your child. And I will tell you, my son's teachers, he's in high school, his elementary and middle school teachers and principals and assistant principals all tell you I am very big on advocating. And I tell all my parents, even now, to advocate for their children. Now, let's move on. Change will happen. And as we move into the 21st century, I feel that there's going to be educational advancements in technology integration. And this technology integration is going to reshape the educational landscape. And what I mean by that is, again, like I said, I'm using my son as an example because he's on the spectrum. There are a lot of different ways to use technology to help children like my son, help children like the varying exceptionality students that are in my classroom and other classrooms. And as technology persists and as it fosters personalized learning experiences to tailor to the student's unique needs and learning styles. And by offering these targeted interventions and customized programs, it will empower students to thrive and exceed academically. And I will tell you firsthand that there are a lot of different programs out there that can help my son who has varying different learning disabilities. Unfortunately, he can't implement them in school. And as we move forward, I feel that there's going to be so many more advances put in, and technology for children like my son are going to be used a lot more to further his educational experience and his academic needs. I also, and this I'm going to tell you, I learned this from another class here at SPC, and I found it very interesting because I feel that technology, yes, will aid with global collaboration and culture competency because it will prepare students to thrive in an interconnected world and navigate diverse perspective, languages, and cultures. I'm sorry if I pronounced some words wrong. Anyway, that is my presentation. Hopefully it's what you needed. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you need me to write down. Here's my papers where I put everything. If you need me to write down the websites that I got everything from, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Thank you and have a great day.